What's up, everybody? Jericho here, giving you a movie review on. That's right, we got Terminator Dark Fate. I've been a huge fan of this series. In fact, one of the rooms at the studio, we always called it the machine room. It was the plan originally, like where all like the computers are going to be and things like that, hence the machine room. It ended up just being a gear room, but it was funny. We called it the machine room a lot, but my buddy X and stuff, we actually were calling it Skynet. Love this series. Have they had a few misses? Yes, but overall, it's been a cool storyline. I like it. And that's the thing. James Cameron, guys, like, he's back. Dark Fate. Not only is James Cameron back, of course, Arnold, the Governator, he's back. But the biggest surprise is Linda Hamilton, guys. Come on. So, yes, Linda Hamilton is back in. Sarah Connor. She's all kinds of in this. Sorry, I'm doing terrible accents too. I'm just having fun with this, guys. So, kind of going into this, what I will say is, I'm actually going to start with the positive, because it's crazy to me. Like, this by far was what I feel like the best, like, action, visually captivating movie of a Terminator I've ever seen. Granted, we've come a long way technology-wise, so, that's give or take, Now, I really do love T2 Judgment Day. That's still my favorite Terminator movie, so don't get me wrong by that and that kind of stuff. But what I will say, though, I mean, action-wise, just everything was, massive in this one. But with that being said, let's kind of go into some of the things I didn't necessarily like, where, just so I guess you kind of know what you've seen in the trailers and that kind of stuff is, it revolves around these other two characters, which one is Grace and one is Dani. And, you've seen Grace. She's on the back of the truck, and she's like, and it scrapes, her arm, that kind of stuff. And first off, let me just start with that. Mackenzie, who plays Grace, holy cow. Like, and I know she was in The Martian and the new Blade Runner. I can't remember, what was 2049, I think. Man, like, I was impressed. Because outside, you don't know much about her character or, her as an actress yet, or at least I don't. I'm excited, though, to see her career because, man, like, she blew my mind with this film. She is by far my favorite person in this whole film. Sorry, Arnold. But, man, like, it was incredible. So, if you do know her, seen some of her work, or, seen some more things or whatever, then, and you like her and stuff like that, get ready for this. Because, like I said, I haven't seen all of her films, and that kind of stuff, but out of the ones I have seen, this is by far my favorite performance by her. I am an action junkie, so maybe that does correlate too. But, anyways, it kind of revolves the story around them and that kind of stuff. And what I will say, though, is this film hasn't really shown you anything really new. It literally takes aspects of all the previous Terminator movies and just combines them into one. And I was a little let down by that. And I guess to some degree it could be difficult to necessarily bring something new. It's like, well, what else is there? But at that point, it's kind of like, then was it worth making a film if you couldn't bring anything new? So I was slightly let down with all that, just because it's a brand new movie and everything, but yet there was no surprises for me at all. I feel like I've literally seen all of this, but the only thing that's winning in this version is because it just looks better. Um, Even story wise, I personally don't think this is a spoiler, just out of the trailers and that kind of stuff. Uh, if you think this could be a spoiler, double tap on the right side and fast forward 10 seconds, because the quick thing is I think this is a reboot. Um, and I'm not going to go into any, like, that kind of stuff, but it almost just seems like they, well, even they kind of said or whatever, this takes place after T2, so the whole, Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, and Genesis, like they're kind of like not necessarily not acknowledging them, but at the same time they're kind of like this, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and then this one. And so it's kind of like, okay, it is what it is. But to some degree, it just felt trying to be a fresh start. And I don't know if they're trying to think about another trilogy or something like that with this film. But it kind of like, oh man, I don't fully know how I'm trying to say it. Like, but I was a little let down from that, from the aspect of like, man, I've spent, how many decades with this movie. But I mean, Terminator was like my first rated R movie. I didn't see when it came out, but I was probably like 5 years old and I finally saw it or whatever at home, and just as a young boy or whatever, seeing a robot walking around, I mean that was cool as all get out. So so whatever, 25 years of just being with this Terminator, saga, all these stories, and just kind of like, let's just keep going, with a fresh start, new take, and that kind of stuff. I wasn't too excited about that, and which is okay. It's not my story. I do know one of the screenwriters was David Goyer, which I love him a ton. Most of you guys probably will know his work. He was part of the whole Dark Knight trilogy, the Christian Bale version, if as Batman, if that went over some of your guys' head, which is okay. So that's probably what he's most known for. He's written a lot of other things as well. But I definitely love Goyer, and I was actually a little bit surprised this is the route that they took. There's good screenplay writers on this. Cameron was overseeing the project, and just with this cast, I feel like the story could have taken a completely different route, and I feel like they could have introduced something new, in my opinion. With all that being said, I wasn't too fond of this movie. I have to give it a 6 out of 10, just because there's more to movies than just explosions and gunfights, I need a little bit of that story. I need some more things out of character development. And now, granted, I definitely liked Grace. She was amazing, the character that Mackenzie plays in this film. But Dani, who's the other character, I care way more about Grace than you do Dani and stuff, and I think some of that just comes from the character development with the lack of the story that was put into it. There is a lot going on. I mean, it's been a while, and yeah, they're trying to come from a storyline that's over 20 years old and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of that thing where it's hard to, like, maybe this is for the new generation, who maybe haven't really seen the first Terminators and stuff like that, or I don't know. That's kind of how it comes off to me, is like, okay, it's like the Lion King, like, for the people who grew up on the cartoon, might not think that the live action was better than it, but at the same time, people who are growing up now and that kind of stuff, who might not have seen the cartoon, their favorite version could probably be the live version. It's kind of, to me, one of those same situations where it's like, okay, if you didn't necessarily grow up on Terminator, you're probably going to love this because it is new stuff to you. But if you've grown up in the series, I think it's worth seeing just out of the nostalgia. And like I said, the action stuff is incredible still. You might be let down with the story though. And yeah. But, oh, there's not an after credit scene. Don't worry about staying all the way through the credits. I did it for you. So when the credits hit and you want to leave, you can. Or you can stay through and watch everybody that helped contribute to that movie to make it there on the big screen for you to see. So thank you guys so much. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the comments below with anything you want to say. You can even say things you don't want to say. I don't know how that works, but show me how. And like always, if you liked it, push the like button and hit subscribe so that way you can keep up to date with my future movie reviews. So thank you guys. Bye.